Hello everybody, I want to give you a warm welcome back to my YouTube channel here. As you might know already, if you've seen my last video, my name is Euraj. I'm a realtor here in Toronto, and I'm very excited to share some valuable content with you. Today, we're going to be talking about some news from the Bank of Canada that do have implications on today's real estate market. Now, if you're interested in staying ahead of the curve in real estate, you've come to the right place. Now, before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. Now let's jump into it. Now, the Bank of Canada just announced that the key interest rate will remain the same at 5%, marking no increase since last July. Now, this might not come as a surprise to many of you guys if you've seen the last video that I posted. Now, given that I predicted the rates might not go down yet, there's still people out there that are assuming that rates might go up, right? And I know majority of us are thinking they'll go down, but what I want to hone in on is the language used in Bank of Canada's update, hinting towards a downward trajectory rather than an imminent increase in rates. Now let's backtrack a little bit and talk about how inflation affects what's going on. Now, given that we're aiming for an inflation rate of 2.5% this year, and I'm talking, we were probably north of around 8% not too long ago. So it's coming down, but like I said, the goal is 2.5 this year. Transportation and gasoline costs have been two really big factors that play into our inflation rates. Now, consistent increases in those costs have that contribution to inflation rate, pushing it upwards. Now, what this could probably do, as many might say right now, is that could either continue rates being held throughout the year or potentially pushing them up. But given, like I said, the language that was used in these articles, that seems to be an unlikely scenario. Now, as you know, there was a rate pause, so nothing happened to that key rate. It stayed at 5%. And I'm going to go ahead and call this an according to plan update, which is also some reassurance for us as we're heading into the spring market in a few months. Rate pauses often boost confidence in the market, and this is what we saw last year at a pretty small scale. Now, given this news, let's talk about what's been happening in the current real estate market. We've observed a surge in activity, I'll say, multiple offers on homes and increased number of showings. And honestly, this is sooner than I expected it to happen, which is also something I discussed in my previous video. However, I know many of you are used to hearing that as soon as competition is enhanced and increased, prices start to soar. And that's not the case right now. And I'm actually going to go ahead and say that this doesn't necessarily have anything to do with variable interest rates. In fact, it has to do with the 5-year fixed rate. Now, fixed rates are, for many of you may know this actually, it's based on the bond yield market. And I've been having conversations with a lot of my buyers in the past week that have been getting approved for rates in and around 5% for 5 years. Now, the interest rate cuts that I predicted this year have a substantial effect on the variable interest rates. But if the bond yield market's coming down and fixed rates are coming down, we're starting to see activity increase sooner than later. And hey, honestly, at this point, any activity is a good sign, especially considering that last year had the lowest amount of sales since 2001. Even a modest increase in activity is newsworthy in today's market. But like I said, prices seem to be holding steady for now. But I really do want to point this out. It is very essential to remember that it's not all about the numbers all the time. It's not all about the investment and the ROI. People move for personal reasons, whether it's a new place to live, first purchase, downsizing, families getting larger, you need more space, personal reasons. So it's not always about timing the market, which is a whole other video. Anyway, it's about life. And since selling in the holidays isn't always ideal for people given pretty busy schedule, you might not think that as many buyers are out there. You're going to put your home back on the market in the later half of, let's say, January, and you're going to sell then. But I really am interested to see what these first few months and how these first few months affect the spring market in terms of sale price, activity numbers, so on and so forth. And with the information that I gather and the research that I do, I will be sharing it with you on my channel. So stay tuned for that. One of the coolest things about this channel is I'm almost a reporter, but I also get to add my 2 cents in my opinion. So it's cool that I come on here and share that with you. And I'd love to hear your opinions as well. So please feel free to leave those in the comments below. If you found any of this information valuable, please share with your friends and leave me a thumbs up. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more insights on the Toronto real estate market.